I remember the sound before I remember the words. The clink of a spoon against crystal, the soft feedback of a microphone being lifted by a man who thought the room belonged to him. I was smiling when my husband stood up. 25 years teaches your face how to lie without asking permission. The ballroom lights were warm, gold, forgiving. Our family sat in neat circles dressed for celebration, glasses raised, cameras ready to capture a love story that had already expired. He laughed before he spoke. That was my first warning. Let's be honest, he said, voice amplified. Casual, cruel. I made the money, she just changed diapers. She's lucky I kept her. The room laughed, some nervously, some because they didn't know what else to do. I didn't move. I didn't blink. This is the part people misunderstand. They think the betrayal begins with the humiliation. It doesn't. It begins years earlier when you give someone your future and they slowly rewrite it as their accomplishment. I met him when we were young and equal, broke, ambitious, convinced love could outwork reality. He had ideas. I had plans. I built systems. He took credit. When the first child came, I stepped back temporarily, I told myself, just until things stabilized. They never let you back in once they realize you can be replaced by silence. I watched him change in increments. New suits, new impatience, new tone when he said my name like it was a task he'd forgotten to delegate. I noticed how my opinions became interruptions, how my sacrifices were rebranded as obligations, how gratitude disappeared but expectation multiplied. The evidence didn't arrive dramatically. It arrived quietly. Emails I wasn't supposed to see, bank transfers that didn't make sense, a lawyer whose name appeared too often in our statements, and finally the look in his eyes when he realized I was no longer impressed by him. That's when I stopped reacting. I didn't cry, I didn't confront, I didn't warn him. I observed. I learned where the money actually came from, not his ideas, my frameworks, my strategies, my introductions. I learned whose signatures were missing, whose contributions were undocumented, whose loyalty he'd mistaken for weakness. I waited, because revenge is useless without timing. By the time our anniversary approached, everything was in place. Quiet filings, silent conversations, agreements drafted by people who don't raise their voices because they don't need to. I stayed pleasant, supportive, invisible. Men like him confuse silence with surrender. Back in the ballroom, after his joke landed and my worth was reduced to a punchline, something shifted. Not in me, in the room. From the shadows near the stage, a man stood, older, composed, watching me, not him. The hotel owner, the billionaire, a man my husband had bragged about impressing, not knowing the irony was fatal. He stepped forward, calm as a verdict. He took the microphone from my husband's hand, not aggressively, decisively. She isn't lucky, he said. His voice didn't need volume, it had authority. She is the one who got away. Silence fell like gravity. I've been waiting 25 years for you to make a mistake like this, he continued, eyes fixed on my husband, because while you were busy claiming credit, she was building the mind behind your success. I offered her a partnership once. She chose family instead. My husband's face drained in real time. Recognition hit him late. Regret even later. The man turned slightly toward me. You were brilliant then, he said. You're formidable now. I didn't smile. I didn't need to. That's when the doors at the back of the ballroom opened. Legal representatives, documents, faces my husband recognized too well. The timing was precise because I designed it that way. The truth doesn't rush, it arrives. Accounts frozen, partnerships dissolved, clauses triggered. The empire he claimed to have built alone unraveled, not dramatically, but methodically, the way it was actually built. He tried to speak. No microphone, no audience, just noise. I watched him realize something important. I hadn't taken revenge in anger. I had taken it in preparation. Later, when the room emptied and the lights dimmed, I stood alone on the stage. The microphone was still warm. I thought about the years I made myself smaller so he could feel taller, about the nights I swallowed pride because stability felt more important than recognition, about how strength is often mistaken for compliance. I don't feel sad, I feel accurate. He lost more than money that night. He lost the story he told himself, the one where I was a footnote instead of the foundation. People ask if it was worth waiting so long. They don't understand. I wasn't waiting. I was building the ending. And when it finally arrived, I didn't raise my voice. I let the truth speak.